Hi guys, so I thought I'd get on here today and I thought we should talk about homeschooling. This is going to primarily be for those who homeschool in the state of Nebraska, but it does have some good foundations. If this is the first time that you are thinking of homeschooling, there are a few things you need to do. Number one, in the state of Nebraska, we legally have to file. In the state of Nebraska, we are legally required to file in something called Rule 13. If you look it up, I will give you all the steps to it, but a few key things you have to know before you file. Number one, you need to have a name picked out for your own school, what you're going to call it. Number two, who's going to be the teacher or moderator or the principal. So just pick that out. And by teacher, if you're not teaching and you're doing the video teaching, you are still considered a moderator, so that will be your name. Number three, you do have to know which curriculums and subjects you're teaching. They want basically a whole list of it. For instance, if you're doing science, you have to make sure you include mathematics. You have to make sure that there's a language, reading, writing element there. You don't need to necessarily include physical education or anything musically inclined. You will also need to know which county you live in or which school district, because that's how they do census and that, so we still do it. The easiest way to do it is to fill it out online, and it is free, and then you get a letter, and you and the other parent or guardian will sign those online, and then you send it in. And that is the first part of the homeschooling. So I always recommend that before you do anything, you research what you want to do. And I thought, well, let's talk about what we can do. If this is your first time homeschooling and you have like a kindergartner, I do not want you to stress at all. The basic amount of homeschooling for kindergartner is 1 to 2 hours a week, and I'll go into a more detailed video about that and what you need to worry about. The most important part, honestly, is the curriculums. If you're a first-time homeschooler, I often recommend that you go with one whole curriculum for your first year. Just to get the feel of it, you get to figure out, oh, so this is what a whole match set of curriculum is. There are some good ones out there, and they can be pricey, but some of the best ones for reading are a Becca book, or that's just when you're the teacher, but they give you all the lesson plans, or there's a Becca Academy. And that one is a video one where you can purchase videos, so you push the button or you log in and your child watches the videos and you're just the moderator, making sure, hey, sit down, hey, listen up, the other different things. So it's up to you, honestly, what you want to do. There's also Bob Jones University. If you're looking for curriculums that are not necessarily based in a religious type of doctrine, there are many out there that are free. There's Alphaphonics, which does not affiliate itself with any type of religion and just gives the basics for reading. It's pretty comprehensive. It's not as expensive as the other two. Or that's basically what I recommend, is start first with the whole curriculum. Don't mish and mash if it's your first year. You need to figure out what you are. Do you enjoy the amount of time that your children are going to be spending on television, even though it is the teachers teaching them? Are you more of a hands-on mom and you recognize 2 to 3 months in, hey, my child's struggling with this because they can't sit still? They're a more tactile learner. This is the discovery here for you, where you're going to figure out which of your children do well in front of the monitors, which ones do not, which ones need more hands-on time, and which ones are more independent. And I recommend you take notes. Just have a notebook. Let's see, about this size. I've done it myself. I have both my child's names down on one separate page, and throughout the school year, I'll make a note. For instance, in mathematics, both my boys are tactile learners. If I just do repetitive flashcards, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3, the concept, but if I provide them with 3 apples and a separate apple, and I put them together visually, and they can take away visually and tactilely, like they're touching and moving the things, then that itself is established. The same for reading. So I just thought I'd get on here and explain all of that. The next short video that I'm going to do is going to be over the basics of it, what you need for curriculums and how you should organize it. But that's just for Nebraska. If you're finding that, hey, I've decided to choose the curriculum, most homeschool curriculums will have a description in the subject. So when you're filling out Rule 15, you will put in, Rule 13. Oh my goodness, no, do not fill out Rule 15. That's something completely different. But Rule 13, for instance, you would put the subject mathematics. Whichever homeschool curriculum you're using will come with a description. You can copy and paste that description right beside it when you're filling out Rule 13, so you don't have to do anything complicated. If it doesn't have a description, for instance, I had to fill out for 2nd grade this year, and I just looked at what the state requirements are, made sure that my curriculum based that. My degree is in mathematics for teaching, so I'm a little bit more familiar of the stuff that's required for teachers to teach your children. And basically my rule for homeschooling is my children meet or exceed state standards at whatever grade level they are. Also, I have one that falls in the middle based on birth dates, where I could push them a year forward or hold them a year back. For that child, I am continuing on the grades that he is in. For instance, he was in kindergarten, now he's in 1st grade. If he struggles with 1st grade too much, I will hold him back because of the month he was born in. He will fit into either your school year group. So it doesn't matter in that sense. You have to do what is best for your child. I also do not homeschool year round. There are some families that do. I believe in the importance of breaks for both you and the children, but hey, if homeschooling year round is how you roll because you schedule month breaks, when we were in Texas, that's how the school systems worked. They had school year round. You get a month break, then you go to school for 3 months, you get a month break, you go to school for 3 months, you get a 3-week break, go to school for 3 months. It's kind of a year-round schooling system, and some homeschoolers adopt that to allow the learning to continue, and especially the younger ones to not forget anything. But I personally have found that my children benefit, especially because they're boys and the boys do not sit well, that they benefit with all the movement and the ability to have breaks and that sort of thing. So that's just a thought. But anyway, once you're done doing that, you just have to make sure that you're in before the deadlines. If you happen to miss the deadline for the Rule 13, do not stress, do not worry. Still file, because you absolutely have to legally here in the state. If you don't, you will get in trouble. So file for that, and you will get a letter. It can take 6 to 8 weeks. It's faster if you do the email, and then you just keep that letter with you in your files. So if any problems arise, which I've never had problems arising, for some odd reason, you have the letter stating that you're exempt and you can prove your exemption. So, alright, in the next video, we will cover what full curriculum looks like from all one subject and what mixed curriculum, video curriculum, and strictly just teaching you looks like. Hope you enjoyed this and our little homeschool series. Bye!